Hi everyone, a very good evening and welcome to our YouTube channel Unacademy IELTS. I welcome you all in our yet another YouTube session on tips for mastering IELTS speaking. So if you guys can hear me and see me, just drop a hi or a hello maybe so that we can connect with each other and I can know how many of you are there listening me. Quickly, let's be very fast and let's make this session very interactive. Good evening everybody, good evening everyone. Good evening everybody. So in this session we'll be discussing some of the top tips that you would be needing to get a perfect score in IELTS speaking. So before we do that, I want you all to let me know if you are there active in the session listening to me. Good evening everybody, good evening Ji, good evening everyone. Just quickly let me know if you are there in the live chat listening to me live. Quickly, let's be very fast. Do let me know if you are there listening to me live in this session. So in this session, we have to discuss some of the top tips for IELTS speaking. Good evening, Rohit. Good evening. How are you? All right. So before we begin, I hope you all know me pretty well. I'm your top rated trainer with a proven track record of more than 8+ years of providing training to more than 10,000 aspirants on diverse courses like IELTS, PTE, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, SAT, ACT, etc. at pan-India level as well as internationally. And I have worked with several renowned corporates and institutions and I teach live on Unacademy. Hi Dilshad, good evening. I hope you all are doing well. Okay. Hi Nabahat, good evening Nabahat. Okay. All right. So let's start with some practical questions so that we can do some self-discovery and get on to the tips finally. So we'll be starting with part 1 if you all people are ready. Okay. Now, read the introduction to an IELTS speaking test. All we have to do is we have to see for some mistakes in the response. Okay. I'll be showing you the answer by a candidate and all we have to do is to point out some mistakes in the response. Okay. Now let's say if I ask you, if I am the examiner and I simply ask you, can you tell me your name please? How would you answer this question? I want you all to answer this question for me in the chat box. So if I ask you this question, in the beginning of your IELTS speaking test, I ask you, can you tell me your name please? How would you answer? How would you answer to the same question? If I simply ask you, can you tell me your name please? How would you respond to this question? If it had been you, can you write a complete sentence for me? Can you write a complete sentence for me? Will you just say Gurpreet Singh or would you simply say Rohit Singh, or you are going to say a full sentence saying my full name is Gurpreet Singh, my full name is Rohit Singh, my name is Hina, my name is Nabahat Noor. Now there's one more tip that I want to give you here. If you want to show fluency, don't say my name is, okay? So try contracting this. Can we say this way? Would it be better if I say my name's Nabahat Noor? The way you do it for it is, no? You contract it is saying it is, it's. Can you do the same here also? My name's Nabahat Noor. My name's Hina. My name's Gurpreet Singh. Rather than saying and stressing on each word individually, you say my name's Gurpreet Singh. Yeah? Okay. Now, the candidate in picture answers this question in this way. The candidate says, my name is Donciano Dalla Fuente. You spell that Delafuente. It means of the fountain, and it is an old Spanish name, which is quite interesting as my family actually comes from Italy. I'm 28 years old and I'm single. So what are the mistakes according to you in this answer? What are the mistakes according to you in this answer? He says, my name is Donciano Dalla Fuente. Then he tells how do you spell it, and then he tells what does it mean, and then he tells how old is he, and what is his marital status. What are the mistakes according to you? If I simply ask you, what are the mistakes in this answer? So what do you think should not have been there? Quickly. Okay, he's not asked about anything else. Nobody asked him how is it spelled. Nobody asked him what does his name mean. Nobody asked him how old is he. Nobody asked him is he married or is he single, right? Agree? Correct? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, so all we learned from this answer is that giving relevant answers to whatever you are asked is very, very important, right? So make sure that you answer relevant to your question. So your responses must directly address the question. Now, similar way, we are going to read some questions and some answers. Out of those answers, we are going to select one which is the most appropriate. Agree? So shall we give it a start, everybody? Okay. Now the question is, what time do you like getting up in the morning? The question is, what time do you like getting up in the morning? Okay. Option A, I really hate getting up in the morning. Is it a good answer according to you? And is it relevant to whatever the question is asking? Think about it. Now, answer A says, I really hate getting up in the morning. Now, did the question ask you, do you like getting up in the morning? Was the question asking you this? Now, did the question ask you, do you like getting up in the morning? No, nobody asked us. Now, option B, I have no idea. Okay. Option C, I have to get up really early because I'm a doctor. So I usually get up around 6:30. But if I had the choice, I'd prefer to get up at 9 o'clock. Okay. Option D, I'm a single mom. So I have to get up at 5. I make breakfast for my children. Then I have to get my children ready for school. I get them dressed and take them to school. And then I go to work. I drive to work and the traffic is always bad in my city. So it takes me a really long time to get there. Now, what do you think? Which response completely answers the question? Which response completely answers the question? And all of you, please hit the like button. Everybody, please hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Answer D is quite exaggerated. That's why the appropriate answer for this would be option C. Cool? Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Now the next question is, how often do you use the library? How often do you use the library? Option A, not as much as I should, but I try to go at least once a week. Okay. Option B, I'm a teacher and I make sure my students go to the library every day because I know how important that is for them and for their learning. Okay. Option C, I think libraries are so important for us. Option D, we have the internet now, so I don't believe people see the need to go to libraries anymore. I rarely think it's a bad thing. It's really a bad thing. So which answer would be the most suitable in this case? The question simply asks you, how often do you use the library, not your students, and the question does not ask you how important are libraries. Now what do you think in this case? Which answer would be the most appropriate? Absolutely correct. It should be A. Not as much as I should, but I try to go at least once a week. Absolutely correct. Correct, Aarti. Rohit, Dilshad. Okay. Now the next question is, do you think it's important to make plans? The next question is, do you think it's important to make plans? Okay. Option A, of course. Why not? Will that be a good answer? Think about it. Option B, I have made an important plan recently. I'm going to my new job in Australia. So that's why this IELTS is very important for me. I need level 7. It's really necessary for me and my family. Okay. Option C, I'm an English teacher, so I have to make lesson plans every day. It's an essential part of my job. Okay. Absolutely. A plan is what gives you direction. I think we probably save a lot of time by making plans before we do something. Now think and tell me which answer would be the most appropriate in this scenario. Very nice. Everybody correct. Okay. Absolutely, absolutely. The correct answer would be option D. Agree? Correct. Now, let's move on to the next part. Now, I hope this point is very clear to you. How important is it to give relevant answers? Okay. Now, the exam tip. The exam tip. Now, the exam tip is, do not try to influence the examiner. Now, most of the students, what do is they try to show off their accent, right? So, do not try to influence the examiner. It won't work. Secondly, each question needs a direct answer. Don't divert from the topic. Don't, start from London and talk about technology. And the last one, do not ignore what the examiner asks. Okay? I hope you are very clear with it. Do not try to impress the examiner. Means some students, what do is they start by impressing the examiner with memorized sentences or phrases. Right? So never do that. Each question has to be answered directly. And do not ignore what the examiner is asking you. Otherwise, he has to again answer you why if you do not give the right explanation. Okay. Now, I hope that's done with us. This all we did it. Okay. Now, let's start with the next question. I'll give you a question and two answers. Two different candidates have answered it. All you have to tell me is which response shows the language ability better. Okay. Now, the question that the examiner asked to both of them was, what do you enjoy learning about? Candidate 1, I like learning about history. Okay. Candidate 2 says, well, I like learning about history. Actually, I hated it at school because it was difficult, but now I really enjoy reading about the past. Now, which answer or which response has a better language ability? Correct, absolutely. Because it's a very well directly answered and justified too. Yeah, okay. Now the next part. Now, I think part 3 is the place which you also find it, quite challenging. Do you do that? Do you also find this part challenging? I'll tell you. Now see, the purpose of part 3 is to discuss some general but very abstract topics. Now, what do I mean by abstract? I'll tell you in a moment. Okay. What do I mean by abstract? So these topics would be related to obviously your part 2. आपके क्यू कार्ड से related ही होते हैं. Okay. Now, अब abstract topic से what do I mean by that? Let's say I have a question. How much time do you spend watching television? So, is it a part 1 question or is it a part 3 question? Everybody. Now, if I ask you how much time do you spend watching television, is it going to be a part 1 question or a part 3 question? Everybody. Yes. Why? Can you give me a reason also? Why is it a part 1 question? Why is it a part 1 question? Any reason for that? Everybody do hit the like button. Yeah, it's a personal question that's related to us, right? How much time do I spend watching television? Correct. Now, if I ask you, what are the effects of watching TV on children? Rather, it should be, what are the effects for children? Now, part 1 or part 3? What are the effects of watching TV? Now it's a third one. Very nice, very nice. Now again, we'll do some questions analysis, okay? How often do you read books? Part 1 or part 3? So that you are very clear with what are abstract topics. So if I ask you, how often do you read books? Is it a part 1 question or a part 3 question? Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you. Everybody do hit the like button. How often do you read books? It's a part 1 question. Thank you everybody. Okay. Now, second question. Would you like to write a book one day? Would you like to write a book one day? Would you like to write a book one day? Part 1 again, correct. Next is, why do some people read on trains? Why do some people read on trains? Please hit the like button everybody, so that we are motivated and we can bring some more such sessions Part 1 or part 3? Why do some people read on trains? It's an abstract topic. Correct. Yes, absolutely. Next, what are the advantages of e-books compared to paper books? What are the advantages of e-books compared to paper books? Very nice. It's again a part 3 question. Again, it's a part 3 question. Next one. What stories did your parents or teachers read to you when you were young? What stories did your parents or teachers read to you when you were young? Good evening, Jashan. Good evening, everybody. Keep hitting the like button, everybody. What stories did your parents or teachers read to you when you were young? Correct. Now it's a part 1 question. Okay. Next is, how could teachers get students more interested in books? I hope now you guys are clear with what are abstract topics, everybody. How could teachers get students more interested in books? Yes, it's P3. It's P3. Agree. Okay. So I hope now you guys are clear with the abstract topics. You know the meaning. Okay. Now the next aspect that we will be discussing is pronunciation. Now pronunciation is not only a single aspect. First thing that matters is the accuracy, the way you speak, and second is the variety of features that you exhibit while speaking. Now what do I mean by them is, how do you stress on words? आप words पे कैसे stress करते हो? आप sentence पे कैसे stress करते हो? And next आपकी intonation. ठीक है जी? Now we are going to give you some examples of all the three. Okay? Let's start. Now sentence stress. See, ये जिस भी वर्ड के ऊपर आप स्ट्रेस करोगे, it will change the meaning. अब जैसे I'll give you some examples. I said she might consider a new car. So if I'm stressing on new, so do you think that changes the meaning, right? अगर मैं new पे focus करूँ, if I stress on the word new, I said she might consider a new car. And if I stress on, I said she might consider a new car. Changes the meaning? Yes or no? So that's why whenever you are speaking, it's important that you stress on the right word to convey the right meaning. Okay? Alright? Now, again, I'll give you some examples of the sentence stress where the meaning will change depending on the word that you are stressing on. For example, in the first one, I am stressing on I. I said she might consider a new car. Nobody else but I. Okay? It was my idea. I said she might consider a new car. Don't you understand me? I said she might consider a new car. I said she might consider a new car. Not another person, but she might consider a new car. I said she might consider a new car. It's a possibility. Now, did you guys get it? Whatever I'm trying to explain you. The whole point is stressing on the right word is important to convey the right meaning. Okay. So if I again stress on consider, I said she might consider a new car. That means she should think about it. Clear, everybody? How important is it for us to stress on the right word? Alright. Now, I'll give you some questions now. Underline the word that you think should be stressed. Okay. Let's say our question is, what do you drink when you read? What do you drink when you read? Okay. I often drink coffee when I read. So which word should be stressed? Which word should be stressed now? Which word should be stressed? According to you, which word should be stressed? Your question was, what do you drink when you read? Obviously, I need to stress on which is that thing that I drink when I read. I often drink coffee when I read. So it should be coffee. Okay? Yeah, correct. Now, when do you drink coffee? And I say I often drink coffee when I read. So here, what should be stressed? What should be stressed? In the second one, which word should be stressed on? I often drink coffee when I read. It's when I read that I drink coffee. Yeah, so that's why here we would be stressing on read. Now you got the importance. Nobody else would have taught you this, I'm very sure. It happens only in our classes, no? Yes. Now, okay. Now look at the stressed words. Let's say, so we have to see ki if this is the response, what could be the question? I sometimes read magazines on planes. Now the question can be, what do you read while you are on a plane? Right? What do you read while you are on a plane? Now for this question only you are going to stress on magazines, right? Okay. I sometimes read magazines on planes. Now the question can be, how often do you read magazines? Just let me know if the point is clear when you are on a plane. Now for both the sentences, the question that would be asked would be different. Okay. So the whole idea here is the right stress on the right word will convey the right meaning. Okay. Always remember this. I sometimes read magazines on planes. Where do you read magazines? Right? That would be the question for the third one. Okay, ji? Yeah. So next point is eye contact and body language. Okay. So whenever you are speaking, look the examiner in the eye. And I'm sure sometimes it might be tough, but yes, you have to do it. Now, why am I asking you to look the examiner in the eye? Is because you feel enthusiastic. When you see somebody in the eye, your body language becomes more dynamic, right? So when your body language becomes dynamic, you sit forward in your seat, you widen your eyes and you use your hands. Agree? Now that's the whole idea behind it. And next, as I told you, stress and intonation. Whatever you are speaking, make sure you speak with enthusiasm. How do you do that? अब intonation, सभी लोग बोलते हैं कि intonation पे काम करो, but nobody tells you how. So अभी हमने जो exercise की ना stress वाली, that is a part of intonation. Okay? So to express enthusiasm, you have to put extra focus on the stressed words, on the most important words. So intonation हम कैसे लेके आते हैं? हम उन words को थोड़ा slowly बोलते हैं and थोड़ा ज़्यादा loudly बोलते हैं than the other words, right? तो हमारी intonation should rise and fall. There should be a mixture of rise and fall in our pitch. Okay? Let's say I'll give you some sentences और उनको हम intonation में variation लेके आएंगे उनमें. Okay? So जिनके ऊपर आपको stress करना है वो already मैंने आपको capitals में दिए हैं. So repeat after me. आपको मेरे बात रिपीट करना है, stressing on the words in capitals, MA. It was amazing. Got the idea? It was amazing. It was breathtaking. High, low. It was breathtaking. It was breathtaking. It was incredible. It was incredible. The crowd went wild. Okay, got the idea? So the correct intonation will reflect accurately how you feel, and this will improve your marks. See, why am I asking you to work on your intonation is, let's say you are telling an exciting story, probably in part 2, but आपकी intonation is very boring. So the examiner is not going to find your story interesting. Okay, agree? Exciting story बता रहे हो, but आपकी intonation sounds very boring. So the examiner is not going to listen to it in a very interesting manner. So whenever you are expressing different emotions, make sure you use different intonation for that. Okay? And how do you improve your intonation is, देखो, सुनो, English speakers किसी चीज को कैसे बोलते हैं और क्या बोलते हैं. So how they say and what they say is important. फिल्म देखो, देखो कैरेक्टर्स कैसे साउंड करते हैं. जब वो सैड होते हैं, how do they sound? When they are happy, how do they sound? When they are frightened, how do they sound? Okay, so pause the film and you can try to imitate them to work on your intonation. Okay, all right, so please hit the like button before we wind up the session. So if this had been useful, do let me know in the comments quickly. So, and one very important thing, we at Unacademy are going to be official partners with one of the creators of the IELTS. Isn't that wonderful? People who are the creators of the IELTS are going to be official partners with Unacademy IELTS. Wonderful. That's the biggest ever news for our learners and a surprise to all of you. Right? Unacademy is leaving no stone unturned for you people. We do have free live special classes which take place every day at 8 p.m. The schedule of which is already listed for you in the slide. Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Okay, the unlock code for unlocking the free classes for an entry is Gurpreet10. We do have free classes as well as paid classes, like the one that we have today is on maps for IELTS writing at 8 p.m. Alright, so you can choose to be a part of it. That's absolutely free of cost. You don't need to pay anything. Again, so on 19th we have a class on IELTS listening, and we do have some test series for you, and very important, the IELTS mock reading test, which are exam level, will give you instant results and would be a correct check of your reading skills. And in our Iconic and Plus courses, we have structured courses at very nominal prices, wherein we cover the entire exam syllabus, focusing on all the essential tips, techniques and strategies. And plus we all give you the notes, the material, the authentic material, I must say, that would help you to achieve your target band score in the very first attempt. So you can choose to be a part of our platform to get the IELTS training for 1 month, 2 months or 3 months depending on your proficiency. And plus above that, Unacademy gives you an offer to use code to get discount. So you can use the referral code Gurpreet10 to get a discount. So for 1 month the fee is 2673, and for 2 months it goes 4950. See, trust me, it's one-stop solution for all your IELTS queries. And for 3 months you just have to pay 6,683 rupees. Alright, yes. So use the referral code Gurpreet10 and be a part of my lovely family on Unacademy. And join us on Telegram for all the latest updates, queries and exclusive content that we share on Telegram. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Press the bell icon so that you stay updated whenever we have a new class scheduled for you. So this is Gurpreet Singh signing off for now, and I will see you in yet another session tomorrow at the same time. Bye-bye.